Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, I need to amend the agenda. First of all, I have a request, executive session at the end of the meeting by RCW 42.30.1101I, possible litigation or potential litigation. Legal counsel can be present by phone, no action to follow. We will recess from the regular meeting at the Lynn Community Church for 10 minutes to allow council to go to town hall council chambers. And we will reconvene in executive session for 1 hour, and I don't know what time that it would be, it's not at the end of the meeting term. But we will adjourn the council meeting at town hall. So if that, any objections to an executive session at the end of the meeting?
Nope.
Okay. Council under add under new business B of property subdivision discussion. So that's added. And also a C, request of funds and certification to be added. Okay, so repeating property subdivision discussion and C, request of funds and certification. And lastly, council, I'm asking if Adams County Rural Hospital presentation can't go first. So any objections to that?
Nope.
Okay. With that, I would like to ask for approval of April 25th, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
I make a motion that we approve April 25th, 2023 minutes.
I second it.
Okay. Moved and seconded to approve April 25th, 2023 regular meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Adams County Rural Hospital presentation. Would you like to take the floor?
Where would you like me to be?
That's fine. Yeah, face the crowd.
Right here, so I'm out. Thanks for time tonight. We'll try to make it short, as short as necessary. Appreciate everyone's time here. So East Adams Rural Hospital, we're headquartered, I guess, in Richfield, but are part of our district, and as is about 2/3 of Adams County. So my name is Corey Feedy. I'm the CEO, and I've got some folks with me. I've got Tony Morgan, our CNO, and Pam Gilmer, our clinic manager. And I want to talk to you a little bit tonight about our mobile clinic, which is sitting outside. I think many of you saw it in a couple of weeks from June, and if you want to sneak out later, we can stick around if need be. But we haven't had much of a presence really outside of Ridgeville, and my mission here is really the hospital, the public hospital district, is partially tax funded, so we need to do what we can to get out to all communities, or at least as many of the communities as we can. But we have to be rational about that process, right? How many folks we can see, and make good use of at that point that we would utilize. So we applied for some grants about 2 years ago now, and we're fully funded for the mobile clinic. So that vehicle was funded through grants, and also a lot of the operating costs this year, and probably some yet into next year. So we can get it off the ground and serve some areas. So we wanted to come tonight to talk to folks. We know there's not a clinic in town. We know Dr. Stockman, he works for us. Yep. He works still for us up to the year. We've got no hard feelings. But again, as part of you guys are part of the district, we want to offer you the choice to see another provider if you don't see Dr. Stockman and stuff. So we're interested in learning from you about what that looks like. We know many of you come up to their school, but we think we should come down here at least to start, kind of see what a every other week kind of setup might look like. And in our brains, that's our best guess without talking to all of you guys. And we would offer the clinic with general family medicine just like we do in Britsville. So we'd send a physician or a physician assistant down here, and you could do all the normal things we would see for coughs and colds and diabetic checkups and your general chronic care if you've got those challenges, or sports physicals, or the list kind of goes on. If you've been up to any clinic, which most of us have or do. So we'd just like to know, like, is it of interest to the community? If it is, where would you like to see us park? Because we have to find a location. We would like to find a place to hook up utilities because it is self-contained, but if we end up being here for a whole day and extreme heat or extreme cold, it's always nice to plug in and have water and soup and that stuff. So we're also interested possibly in developing that kind of site in the community center. So we want to make it really super accessible. We want to come when it's routine and consistent for you guys. And I guess we'd love to try to get like 10 to 15 patients every time we're here to make it really viable. So that's kind of how we look at it. I thought I'm just like super transparent. Some of you know me already, some of you don't, but that's the deal. We want to do everything we can, but we got to be responsible with the resources we got. So we could try to come down here and just, kind of ballpark it and see what happens, but it'd be a lot nicer if we knew that Tuesday's the day, and that's when, like in Sprague, I don't remember what Wednesday is Senior Citizens Day, and that's where most of the people come to town, and that's the day we want to hit. We're looking for your feedback on that. So that's kind of the basis of the presentation. We want to bring healthcare to you instead of always having to go up to Ritzville or go somewhere else. So, question.
So if we start doing this in Lynn, I know there's people in town that a lot of people grow Stockman, obviously, but there's also people in town that can't. Transportation kind of a problem for them getting to Ritzville. So obviously, any extra help that Lynn could get, I think you guys, whatever, would be good. So would we be just guesstimating? Would you be thinking 1 day a week?
Well, we'd like to go every other week, and really the
every other week to start
for a day to start. Yeah, I mean, if we start seeing 10 patients every time we're here, well, then maybe we do another day or every week or whatever that looks like.
So at least probably every other week to start. Okay, and how soon could that possibly come into play?
Well, I mean, I'll leave that up to these ladies to schedule. We got to figure out a way to schedule all the providers because obviously they're scheduled out right now. But I think in the next month or two is reasonable that we could start visiting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it's totally self-contained. It's running. I mean, right now, we just need really a pretty level spot and a hard surface to put the jacks down. It's a heavy vehicle, so it needs to be asphalt surface. And we can pull up on a city street if the city allows that. We don't know permitting or any of that kind of stuff. So we certainly just pull up the curbside.
I'm guessing we can figure out somewhere for you to park. Obviously, that's just my opinion. Would be a good thing for the community.
And I did speak, by the way, speaking of places, I presented the Lions Club a while back, and we're just finally getting it, the terrible COVID is, kind of relinquished itself now. So now we're getting out, trying to expand our services again and get back to normal. And they did offer potentially, but I needed to circle back. So that's a potential site if the club wants us to be over there. But that's kind of away from here. So again, from a transportation standpoint, I don't know if it's better to be parked like here or by the school or down there, or, you know, for people that maybe want to walk or whatever.
I think anywhere in town will be sufficient,
Okay.
but, I mean, town's a lot closer than Richville.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Are we allowed to ask questions of the council or not allowed
I,
to?
well, that's,
I know we're not allowed to speak at meetings. I just have one question.
yeah.
Are we, like, if you guys do this, is everything gonna be handled at the bus, like co-pays and insurance, is it all gonna be brand like the hospital? So like, you guys will hand me the bus, or is that like?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Along with that.
Okay, so it'll be the same as like going to the clinic, and just, okay,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, and actually we're Starlink. Good, bad, or other yet. It's been good so far, so we'll see where that goes. But so your medical record, if you guys didn't hear our big announcement about going to Epic and all that business, you know, we're all connected now. With, you know, if you need follow up because you see a specialist in Spokane or Moses Lake or somewhere, as long as we get that access by that provider for your care, it's right there in your mobile clinic. It's all connected. So.
okay.
Yes, sir.
I got a question. How are you guys going to staff? Are you gonna pull from doctor, providers, and nurses from the already understaffed hospital clinic?
Not nurses, so we staff it with a physician or a physician assistant, or it could be a nurse.
Because it's already hard enough for some of us to go to the doctor to get an appointment with our provider.
Oh, well, we can talk about that, offline if you want, but, definitely, we've recruited another, I mean, we're up to 5 providers now. When I started 4 years ago, we had 2. So we're up to 5, so we're trying to build that so that's easier access. And one of those, providers definitely is on the mobile clinic, and if it gets busy enough and we can hit a number of communities, we may consider yet another provider.
Okay.
To hire on. So that's a great question. But again, we don't know how busy we're going to be. So it's a little bit of a, you know, when you're small like this, you don't build it and they come like you do in a big city. You kind of have to test the waters and get out there. So, but it will be staffed with a provider, and then also a driver. That could be a medical assistant or just a driver. We've got different options there, so it just kind of varies a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Would it be like by appointment only, or would you have walk-in?
I think we've started by pretty much walking so
Yeah.
far, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and we can actually do both. We can provide a service that's just a walk-in basis and doctor-scheduled appointments too. So we do accommodate for both of those situations. When we first started at another location that we're going to, we started just with walk-ins and just built from there. So, yeah. Anything else?
So it's going to be a little cumbersome. I mean, we're happy to come down to support the community. And if you all will just kind of take it as we go, and that's what we'll do too, learn from coming down here and see how it goes. We can get that understanding, and if nobody comes to visit us, then, you know, we don't want to waste y'all's time either. So that's not trying to drum up business. We're trying to be responsible for the district as to what we offer. So
I just have one suggestion. If you guys do plan a date, the town is very mixed of like new, older generation, new generation, Facebook, no Facebook. So like you plan a date, really advertise it, because half the people will see it and then you just post it on one door or post on your little website, not everybody can see it. So maybe like that. Yeah, maybe just like that.
the schools are being offered to put it there. The mailing list too, so I mean, I think we just gotta learn all the different, ways to get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what is the best, and so we can obviously reach a lot of families at the school, allows us to send out a flyer. Certainly we have to get Facebook and all that. That's out of my league. That was my next question, because I know we've done it in West Buckland before, so yeah, if we can still insert or whatever there, or if we gotta come to town and put flyers up, you can do that too, whatever you think is best.
We want to make sure that we're definitely reaching the people that don't necessarily have easy access to healthcare as well.
you had a question?
What kind of hours are you gonna do? Normal, like, clinic hours?
Typically, our mobile clinic is usually from 9 to 4. That's kind of what we've been running. That kind of gives us time to reach the variety of people and look at that and take care of stuff on that end. So that's what we've been running, but we are open to some different ideas. If we need to stay a little bit later, come a little bit earlier. Again, it's just we want to do what the community needs and what the people are looking for. So, yeah, definitely that as much as we can.
I think what you're hearing, and I hope you're hearing, if you're not, you're welcome to call me to talk about individuals in the community all the time, is the system, East End Rural Healthcare, is a different place than it's been ever. I mean, for many, many years. Lots of new staff, we've grown, we've added lots of staff. Brought some people into town, but we've also hired a lot of local people. We've added some services, we're looking at some new possible specialty things that might come up this year. It's a different place. And our focus is to try to make sure we provide the best healthcare we can. And we know we're small, so don't get me wrong. We're not going to be doing surgery tomorrow. We're not going to be, we can't do all the big stuff, right? At a big hospital. We come to an emergency room, we're going to patch you up the best we can. If it's really awful, we've got to send it out. If it's not, we're going to take care of it. So there's just a kind of I always want to lay that out there, like, yes, we're doing some cool things. We're stumbling, we're making our own mistakes along the way, so please be patient, let us know. If we make mistakes, we want to try to fix them. But, we can't be everything. But we will try, don't be afraid. If you're like, hey, you have a, podiatrist that comes to town, can you help us with that? Well, let us know. We're looking at all those things, or maybe we're not, and we'll try to sort that out.
You mentioned sports physicals. What about the commercial side, on the physical side, like CDL physicals and stuff?
We don't actually have a provider that can do CDL training as of yet, but we do have one that's interested in that exam. And so we're hoping to be able to add that service soon as possible. So it is something that's really on our agenda.
Yeah. With all the drivers out here.
Yeah.
We actually had requests for the aeronautical certification too. We're not sure if we can pull that off, but we're looking at it. Yeah, it's been very nice to have along. Yeah. Well, that's just one of those things that we heard a lot from the community, that people came to Spokane for 6 months, so can you help us? Yeah, found it.
Yeah.
What else can we tell you about, or? Yeah.
A phone number where we can reach you and ask questions.
So the main number is still the hospital number, 509-659-1200. And that's the one thing I promise these ladies I do is bring my business cards with me, and I didn't. So I owe that. But yeah, that's, the primary hospital number, you just ask for the clinic, and the clinic will still schedule the mobile.
I'm specifically at extension 202 if you'd like to talk to me, but anybody can help you.
So, back in the corner.
About CPR and defibrillator training.
Great question. We don't do that in mobile clinic right now. We are working with the EMS crew. We're going through some changes there. But we would like to do more of that. We could probably come down and start something up there. Yeah, I just need to get, we're recruiting new managers, so I need to get that in place. And we're as you guys know, anyone else in EMT, I know you're trying to run your shop here, but everybody's looking for EMTs across the country.
So,
yeah.
For like CPR and defibrillators and finding out where they're at, where they're located, and who's actually trained to use them.
Yeah, I don't know what you have in the community, but we can look into what that might take to help.
All school district employees get trained, on school buses.
That's just good to know.
We do have an AED on the mobile clinic.
Yeah, that's a good point. There are resources here in town, certainly that. So. What else can I ask? Yes, ma'am?
I walked in a little late, sorry. So is this just a Monday through Friday thing?
Is it say again?
Monday through Friday?
No, we're trying to figure that out, part of tonight's presentation, but, based on, similar community like Sprague, is where we're going right now, we're thinking every other week for a day and see how busy that is.
Oh, I get what you're saying, but I mean, your choices would be Monday through Friday, not like a Saturday morning.
Well, we don't necessarily know that answer today. If the whole community says Saturday's the day, I think we're gonna try to figure that out for you.
Okay, because we spend a lot of time going to urgent care, a lot of people do, I think, if
Oh.
nothing's open, you know, and then we end up, you know, because kids always get.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
is,
know if anybody else goes through that,
I mean, I
but.
can't,
a lot of
we
urgent
gotta,
days, so.
we have all kinds of crazy rules and regulations, so we'll have to talk that through what that looks like.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's what we're here to find out, what days work, what, like you said, what time, how to, I mean, we know so many people work.
Right,
Um,
well, and our kids miss so much school too, we're always missing appointments, so it's just very.
take that back and see if that. Anything else? Is there one more question?
Will you guys have like a phlebotomist there to do blood draws and?
On the subsequent providers.
We're still working on getting some equipment.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it'll be a mini lab. Some of the labs, can be done immediately with quick test opportunities. But then we'll send the rest back to the hospital if need be. Yeah, I should mention that. It's again, it can do everything that bricks and mortar, in Ritzville can do, except for, the more extended labs will have to send back. X-rays, obviously, we're not going to do anything. Okay. Great question. What else can we offer? Okay, well, we were kind of planning on taking off, because it sounds like you guys have more discussion on the agenda, so unless somebody needs to stick around, we're happy to do that. Well, thank you all, community, council, appreciate it very much, and just reach out if you got anything, let us know. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, council will go back to, the agenda with the, unfinished business. And, the item A is water usage restrictions. Council, you were given the previous year's watering orders last meeting. I'll repeat that well 7 is offline, and well 8 is currently serving the entire town. But the replenishing of the reservoirs is getting slower and slower with the more people using, and well 8 being the only thing that's replenishing slower. As summer approaches, and I've been informed that El Nino is being predicted this, for the next couple of years. So that means that we've got warmer weather. Cooperation from everyone is needed, and it is important to protect the town's drinking water. So with that being said, like I said, you've got the previous 3, that was last year. The last one is what you are currently continuing with, because you asked that question last time. Okay, so the last one is you didn't change your mind from the last one. Okay, and that was for October 11th of 2022. So I'll just let you guys discuss.
Okay, I'm opposed to any water restrictions. And one of the reasons is because we don't know for certain what's happening with this well. There's been about 6 different reasons why we're short of water. If we decide to impose restrictions, then there will be no water sold to farmers or tankers if the town needs it. That's the way I see it. You know, why sell tankers of water when the town people need it? We're on restrictions and they're not. You don't hear a farmer saying, oh, my spuds aren't gone or my carrots aren't gone. They get plenty of water because they come in and they take the town's water. And there still is no set reason why we're having this water issue. I've heard about 6 different reasons so far. The crust pipes, the cave-ins, the bad pumps, the need smaller pumps, you know, when's it gonna end? If there was a definite answer, yeah, maybe, but we're not able.
Do we get a clarification as to why well 7 is up front?
And the other thing is I've heard that well 7 is still full of water. If that's the case, then that's been in there a good few months, and that must narrow it down. Well standard.
Okay, it does beg the question, what happens when you turn on the water faucet and no water for your shop?
I know
When are we going to do that?
I know what you're trying to say, but there's no definite answer as to why these wells are going bad. That's the aquifers, like I said, that's the pumps, you know, what is it? I would like a definite answer before I just propose any sort of restriction.
And where would you get that answer?
We got to pull somebody in, because that's something.
Okay.
You can't be
And who would that be?
you can't be giving the people all these different answers. There has to be one answer only. You know, like the pump's bad, or the caving was the cause, we're not getting that. I mean, you know, it's easy to see.
It does. I agree with you quite a bit on what you're saying, because it seems like we have more than one answer. There's no set answer, you know, whether it be pumps or a well caved in, or we hear all negatives coming for the next 2 years, or whatever. But I mean, we don't have a definite. So if it's the pump, if they say, hey, definitely, if you can put a smaller pump in there, that'd be the route to go, then let's look at going that route instead of just. I think until we get a definite answer, I'm totally against water restrictions at this point.
Okay. When would you be in favor of water restrictions?
When we get some more answers than what we're getting right now.
What answer?
And if we run out of water, then,
Government.
you know, it's.
Government?
You know, as time do, we have definite answers. Not getting run around, not getting snookered. We need to know.
No, I'm not saying anything, I'm just posing the question. Okay.
You're talking about time. Well, I say, I think we're jumping the gun if we go to do that right now. I realize it's gonna get warmer. I mean,
Okay.
everybody does, or whatever, but I think that, you know, who's to say we're gonna run out of water at all? We don't know that. We don't know if that's gonna happen for sure. Until we get some definite answers from engineers or whoever the heck we need to get those answers from. I mean, I think cutting the town off of saying people can't water their grass just because a lot of people don't have yards in this town doesn't mean that some people don't take pride in what they have, you know? I mean.
And that's not the only issue. I mean, we shut
Well,
down
it's no
one
example,
to
but-
wash that one. That well, in the middle of summer, in the 90s and 100s, well 8 fed the whole town.
Okay.
So well 8 at the moment is running pretty good. You know, so I don't think we've got any worries there. At all.
I missed last week, so why are we not using well 7?
I was gone last week.
And this still begs to answer, why is the reservoir full? It should have been drained out. So So if that's ever gonna be used again, it's got to be drained, cleaned, disinfected. That's thousands of gallons of water.
Okay, which reservoir are you speaking of?
Huh?
Which reservoir are you?
Seven, all seven. Yeah, reservoir seven.
I guess what he's getting at, Jim, is why is, and what everybody else I think wants to know too, is why are we not using 7 at all? Is it? Well, that's the question that's wanting to be answered, I guess. What would the people and everyone, even up here, I think, would like to know an answer on that. As far as, is it pump issues right now, or what's going on? Why are we not using it?
Okay. I don't have those answers either. But,
Is there water and sewer management?
The well 8, when it's on, it can serve that reservoir as well as that reservoir. So,
Excuse me, again, well, 8 is not big well seven.
no, but it does bleed over.
talking about
It does
equal.
It does a whole job, yes, yes. So, what I'm basically saying is the town can run on well 8 and no problem.
Right now, well 8 is surviving, or the county is surviving with well 8.
And I did,
But
yeah.
the aquifer is also up from winter, right? So as we are using, then our aquifer is going down. We've got, and I'm just interjecting, the surrounding towns are also speaking or talking about discussing, restrictions for the conservation.
Well, I'm still of the opinion, unless we get a definite answer, I'm opposed to any water restrictions.
Okay. My question again is, where are you gonna get the answers?
And Jay, they're pretty close.
I'm not talking.
I think that we had a chance to have the well looked at, and you might say that was stupid. What we need to do is call someone in who can give us a definite answer. I mean, there's got to be somebody out there that knows, that's in the business and know how this works. We can't keep getting all these different reasons.
We're not getting
No, I
a
know.
definite answer, we're not being told, or whatever, from whoever we're using that now. Who are we using that now?
Century West and geoengineering.
And we still don't have an answer.
Is that where Dr. Lindsay was from? The geoengineering? What did can you tell us what his report said?
The reports have been out and around, so if you want.
Can you tell us what the main problem with well 7 is from the report?
Yes, the immediate, first was to have well 5 be evaluated. And well 5 was found in the last, and you got the report too. So with well 5.
It didn't really explain anything.
Well, yeah, it is. The front sheet before the pictures had everything. So
I
it
didn't
went
get that
down.
sheet, I don't think.
No, it was before the pictures. Down here, the casing, and then down here was the where the camera stopped. And in between was loose. So the boring, the tube, if that's what you want to call it, was no longer there. It was no longer an actual cylinder that wouldn't have the water feed up to the pump.
And that's well,
So,
that's well.
and that was well 5. So that was the immediate concern. Now they are concentrating with well 7. Okay, and well 7, at one time, they were thinking that well 5 was interfering with well 7. Well, now it's not. So they process elimination, they found that was not true. So now they're concentrating on well 7.
So is that why we don't have a definite, they're working on well 7, they're doing testing and stuff, so that's why it's not being used?
Yes. And remember, council, we did a 24-hour, it was 48-hour testing. They took a test at, say, 0 hours, and then they took another testing of water at, say, 48 hours later. And so that's all in the process. So yes, it's not going to be immediate. Yesterday, we're going to have an answer.
And I think we should wait till, you know, for an answer. And I also know that we on restrictions, I can't remember when we had the fires, because well, they become within a few days, we'll walk the fire. It's done, it's recovered. Within 2 days, when you look at facts and things in the numbers, which I did. So, well, it's running pretty good.
Okay. Keep in mind that the aquifer is also a factor in to all of this. And answer to your comment there, your well 6 is not your drinking water.
No, but we're talking about what I'm saying.
Right, but you made a comment that well 6 was part of the town. Well 6 is not your drinking water. Only well 7 and only well 8 is your drinking water. That's the line.
So the potable water on well 6 is we want.
That is one customer that's getting water off of that.
Because I know when we had the meeting, as Bob said, we had to use bottled water at the time. So yeah, I'm definitely,
There's two faucets.
yeah, two.
What are the, I'm just, and I know nothing that would ever happen anytime soon, but, it's been talked about a little bit a long time ago. I remember people, bringing it up and making comments and stuff as far as, like plumbing well 6 into a way where we could use it to water our yards and stuff instead of using drinking water. I mean, I know it could be done, but it'd be, but then it's, you know, also on the flip side of that, you know, when you're looking at, oh, well, we're running out of drinking water, so don't water your grass for 10 months or whatever. Or you water for other things.
And remember the levels, the aquifer levels that I showed you before. Like well 6 is here, but your drinking water well 7 and 8 are down here in that aquifer. So,
Right.
So is it saying that we need to drill down deep and drink?
that was one of the options that we're
It's not.
kind of looking into for well 7. Drilling deeper,
I just think we need to,
new drill.
it's been over a year now, we've had restrictions last year, I think by now we should have that in the house. We can't keep restricting the water, people's lawns dying and everything else on his side, because that's what it is basically.
You guys request answers from
And it's not only that, last year when we were on restriction, it was tanker after tanker filling up with water. When we're on restrictions, they can have all they want, that's not fair in my eyes.
I agree with that. Mike, did you ever have an opportunity to finish that, water?
As far as upping
The tank. Water. As far as, remember, once upon a time,
ordinance.
yes,
the new ordinance to,
right, because it included, restricting use for certain people and everything else.
for, out of well 6.
Right, and also changing the rates that were charged
Yes.
and everything too. Yes, it's not done yet.
I think that would be helpful if we were able to get that, completed so that we could, take a look at it, especially in light of, Mr. Hughes'
I will do,
concern.
I will put it at the top of my priority list to get it done. It's close, it just, answers are not there yet, to be honest with you. Yeah.
But, whether we like it or not, I think at some point in time, when we get all the answers, I think we will have to have some form of restrictions on water use.
Right, but I think at this time we need to pump the brakes on that.
Okay. Then,
My own opinion, I agree with Robert on that, I think we're jumping the gun too soon right now. I mean, hopefully soon we'll have some definite answers when the testing is done on well 7 that they're doing right now, we're being told. So hopefully soon we'll have some answers on that, and we won't have any water issues, you know, anytime in the near future. So, but I definitely think we don't need to jump on putting an ordinance or a restriction and use anytime soon.
so at this point in time, it sounds like we need to table the water use restrictions. Okay? And revisit them at a later time.
I agree with that.
Can I ask what the original reason was that well 7 was planned? Do you have better understanding?
It was an accumulation of not enough water. When it was sucking, not enough water, then the pump wasn't operating correctly. It was just one thing on top of another thing on top of another thing. And so then that's where we got to thinking, okay, why isn't there must be something that is getting in the way of the water for well 7 to operate correctly. So that's where they went to Moses Lake is a coalition of all the surrounding farmers. There's other towns, there's the big wigs out of the Olympia that are trying to work out this aquifer situation and trying to, don't want to step on farmers' toes, don't want to step on towns, cities and towns' toes, you know. So it's a joint effort, and it's very, very slow, and it's very, very frustrating. So, but if this is to be still discussable, is that a word?
Yeah, we have tabled it. For now?
Yeah.
You know, everybody in favor of that note?
Yes.
All right. So now the first item that is on the new business list is property subdivision discussion. And council, you have, it's white, and it's the portion map, town map.
This sheet right here?
Yeah.
Okay, the highlighted areas is in lots 1 to 8. You see that? And that is some property that is being looked at to purchase. Right now, it is in one parcel. So all 8 lots are in one parcel number. The potential buyer is wanting to know if the council, if the town would entertain the thought of taking those 8 lots and subdividing them so that 2 houses could be built. It's Greg Strohmeyer's lots that are behind line goes on 4th Street. I don't know if you know who lives there now. Tina Schumer. And then the next house, and it's a separate.
Okay.
8 lots there.
Oh, okay.
But the issue is, it's all under one parcel number. And if I buy a parcel, it's X amount of lots. So I'm asking you if I can take those 8 lots and make them into 4, and then build 2 houses on them.
Okay.
Right now, it's.
So you just want to turn it from one big lot to two lots.
Each lot is 25 feet by 140 feet. So if you have no objections to subdividing into 2, so the 2 parcels would be 100 by 140.
Okay.
Because right now it's 200 by 140.
Okay. And then the thought is to put a couple of houses in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he doesn't want to do a whole bunch of, work if it's not going to be acceptable to subdivide that parcel.
So we have to give him the okay basically so he can get it through the county.
It's just one step of the process. But
I don't have an issue with it. I don't speak for everybody else.
I've no issue with it, I think that's a good idea.
Currently, there's nothing on the lot.
great question. There's a motion and a second.
Yes.
Okay, to allow a subdivision on this parcel. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we'll let the person know that. And then whether he moves forward with his idea or not.
Right.
All right, council, next is request of funds and certification. I believe it's your green sheet. Okay. Remember, SEPA, and now then we did the, NEPA. Okay, the NEPA comment, period is closed. And the town, is being asked to, and that's the second sheet, to, request release of funds and certification for CDBG, to release funds so that we can move forward with the project of the 2023 water and roadway improvements, which is dubbed the Quail Loop water line. The chip seal as well on 4 ends, East 8th Street, North I Street, North L Street, North F Street, that project. So this is one step closer to getting that project moving.
Okay.
So asking for a motion to approve and authorize to sign.
All right, the motion to approve.
And been moved and seconded to, approve the release of funds and certification and authorize, mayor to sign. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that will be done tomorrow so that that can get turned in to CDBG, process. Mayor's report. Town office, is needing to be closed all day, Friday the 12th, because of a webinar series. And the series is called Washington CARES Act, and it's new, but it's going to be required for all employees beginning in July 1st. So just letting you know that we're going to have the office closed. And the working is going to be still open, but the actual office will be closed Friday the 12th. With that, we'll return to the agenda for the Finance Committee report.
I heard,
I did.
okay, I make a motion to approve the warrant check register list dated from 4/25/2023 to 5/8/2023 in the amount of $47,251.05.
Moved and seconded to approve the warrant check register dated April 25th of 2023 to May 8th of 2023 in the dollar amount $47,251.05. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. I'd also like to make a motion to pay the outstanding invoices dated from 4/24/2023 to 5/4/2023 in the amount of $25,749.01.
I second the motion.
Moved and seconded to pay the outstanding invoices. And I forgot what you said, 4/23/23? Oh, 4/24/23, to 5/4/23,
Yes, that's correct.
for $25,749.01. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, council, question?
Yeah.
You have anything for concerns?
Yes, I do. Have we reinstated where the public are now eligible? Instead of waiting on this paper. I think I made a big mistake to you people. I got stupid last time. And I would like to have
Double stupid.
I would like to make a motion to reinstate the public to have talk again like they used to. I think they deserve the right to talk.
I second that.
Thank you, guys.
As long as presentable. Thank you.
So I mean, you could even have a forward up there if maybe we're going to the
Hasn't been passed yet.
I think.
I see, I know you got a question.
There's not many people that will have it. They are the American public, and they have a right to speak.
I've been been against that the whole time, but, I'm not here to make people like me or whatever. I know plenty of people don't in this town, but that's their choice. I'm with him, I think everybody has the right to speak. I'm sure I'm not the only council person up here or over there or anybody else, but there has been some times where it's gotten way out of hand. And if we could try to, keep it mellow and stuff, I don't think we'd have to worry about something like that getting put back in place.
Well, I think.
Just my 2 cents.
I think if it's courteous and they quit shouting out, if they wait to be called on.
But yeah, try to do it in a professional manner per se, and
Trying to carry on meeting and you've got people in the audience.
easy, don't be yelling in my ear, man.
Plug it.
I agree. I mean, I try to bring it back last.
Okay, there is a motion, and I want to, allow the, public to be speaking at their turn. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Anything else, Robert?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. No?
That's kind of full. That's all.
Okay, Myra? Okay, Laura? Laura, I do have something, are you narrowing down the playground equipment? Okay, before this next meeting possibly, or what? I'm waiting for you to do yours and then I'll do mine.
I have Leah, I'm having Leah take it to school because I want all the kids to have an input. So have friends, there's a lot of things that we're working on it.
Yeah, well, that's narrow it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was mine. To you. Jim?
Okay, I have one suggestion for, the lawns and other such. I thought about it and the idea of batching your lawn I think it's every 2 years. I believe it's very helpful. That and aerating will make the water that you do put on more accessible and help the lawns to grow better.
It does.
And that's all I have.
Done mine already, Jim.
You have someone come in and aerate it for you, like 600 bucks.
I understand. But there, most of us that have lawns, you can rent irrigated equipment as well. And I'm sure that would be, and batching is not hard. You can buy a batching rate for somewhere around $20 and they last forever. It's just a matter of, it helps the lawns to grow better.
You could ask the question about the playground equipment.
You can ask Laura, she's in charge.
Was there a grant for the town to use this, or where's the money coming from?
We are gonna, we're gonna submit it and see what we qualify for.
Do you know which funding agency or group is offering the grant?
It's the same people that did the school playground.
Thank you.
So,
Sorry, just on backtrack, I was thinking about all of the lots that were getting combined into 2 lots. So when they combine them into 2 lots out of I'm sorry, 8. There was 8 or 4.
There was 8, yeah.
8.
Mm-hmm.
So when that goes to the so when you combine them into 2 lots, so when it goes to the county assessor's office, for taxes is, are they gonna pay taxes on 4 lots for each, or are they gonna pay taxes for, 1 lot?
The way I understand it, and I could be wrong, and anybody help me out here with this answer, you might even know better than me, is though he's paying taxes on a parcel. Right now, it's considered 1 parcel, so if it's split in half, it's just gonna be, would be taxes on 2 parcels.
Just 1 parcel.
One parcel, that's get divided in.
2, so he'll be paying taxes on 2 separate parcels instead of 1 big.
So now, tell me if I'm correct, so you got 4 parcels here, and you bought 4, and now it's only 1, and I bought the other 4, and that's 2. So you gonna be paying taxes on 4 parcels, or?
No, that's gonna be different if he sells them to 2 different people, they're gonna pay for their parcel. If the same person buys it, they're gonna pay for both of them.
Mine was often.
Does that, and maybe I'm not exact on that, I
I'm
don't,
just trying to understand, are you gonna be paying for 8 parcels or 2?
it's 1 big parcel right now.
Yeah, and you've been buying, you're buying some land then, are you? Well, I just wondered why the question.
Well, because
He's just trying to figure it out.
I'm paying taxes on 2 parcels,
I think that's good.
and, they wanna,
Okay, answer to that, you have to go through the county planning and building, fellow, and of course, there's fees, there's process and everything, but it's a short plot, PLAT, and you've got to go through their paperwork to do that.
yeah, no, that's perfect, if he's buying 4 and you're buying 4, and you're only paying for 1, I want on that, I want on that side
No,
too.
you gotta back the auditor, you gotta back.
I just called the auditor and mine.
Okay, council, we're going to move on with, the written, session.
I did receive public comment, written via email from Robert Meader. Subject UTV side by side. It came in on the, April 25th. So it was past the deadline for the last council meeting. The subject again, UTV side by side use. It says, Mr. Dworshak is citing ORS 46.09.455 as giving the town grounds for denying the use of street legal side by sides by the residents of Lynn. In parentheses, it says, though I see he is misreading and misrepresenting the ORS and disagrees. He continues, since he is acknowledging and using this ORS for his argument, he needs to acknowledge and abide by the part that states CII of this subsection must be listed publicly and made accessible from the main page of the county's website. The town needs to make a web page and list the roads they are barring people from using. The response is that all roads in the town of Lynn are inaccessible to use.
On what website?
Per ordinance 2103.
I asked what website,
The town of Lynn does not have a website.
so you're not following the law as written. That law says that it must be on the website, and if you don't have a website, you're choosing not to have a website, you're not choosing to publish that, then it's obviously you're not abiding by what he is trying to enforce.
Next. Also by email from Robert Meader, received May 3rd. Also UTV side-by-side use.
Mr. Dworshack is citing Land Code 2103 as grounds to prevent people from driving street-registered side-by-side vehicles in the town of Lynn. That ordinance states a person cannot drive a, quote, off-road vehicle, or ORV, end quote, but defines those as follows, quote, off-road vehicle, or ORV, end quote, means a non-street registered vehicle. This explicitly says a non-street registered vehicle is a, quote, off-road vehicle or ORV, end quote. So how do we square this misrepresentation of the code or ordinance?
Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and research and have an answer at the next council meeting.
Wait, that was the whole reason to write in. That was your exact reason to write in, and I gave you guys weeks, and now you can't do it. This is hilarious.
Mr. Meader, I'll let you know that it was cited, which RCW that allowed
That was
town to prohibit.
town code.
No, the RCW cited what the town council has been able to do in prohibiting any side-by-side.
And then you guys wrote it into a code, and the definition of your code, you messed up. Yes, you got permission to ban them. If you say including street registered, it says in your code, not street registered. So you guys miswrote the code, and now you're trying to change the code to fit what you want it to be. But the fact that you can't answer after your entire reason for barring people from talking here was so that you could have time to write answers is an absolute joke.
I still have not answered that line.
46.09.455.
The number again?
46.09.455. So, we are in recess now. We are in recess and 10 minutes to get to the town hall and continue with our executive session.
They're adjourning at the town hall.